Welcome to your custom deep dive. Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're pulling from a January 2026 legal blog post published by Cave Law.
Right, they're a personal injury firm out of Aurora, Colorado.
Exactly. And our mission today is exploring this really surprising legal intersection where severe winter weather meets medical malpractice.
And what's fascinating here is the crucial distinction we have to draw right up front. I mean, we all know blizzards delay ambulances.
Oh, absolutely. Roads close, everything stops.
Right. But legally, how does a court untangle a genuine weather-induced delay from an underlying pre-existing staffing crisis at a hospital? We're really looking at that line between an unavoidable act of nature and actionable medical negligence.
Because, when deep winter hits a place like Aurora, those logistical bottlenecks are just a given.
Yeah, you expect them.
Longer ambulance routes, rescheduled surgeries.
Lab tests slowing down because they have limited staff on site.
Right. But here's the core issue. When does that snowy inconvenience actually become medical malpractice?
Well, the standard of care doesn't just vanish in a blizzard. It adapts. Weather is never an excuse for providers to drop that standard.
So the legal question isn't, did they act perfectly?
Exactly. The question is, did they act as a reasonably competent provider would, given those specific extreme weather conditions? A delay crosses into malpractice when it causes clear harm that traces back to a missed responsibility.
Like what kind of responsibility?
Well, the source mentions examples like, say you're waiting in the ER with severe chest pain.
Sounds terrifying.
It is. And the triage nurse blames the snow for the hours-long delay. But your records later show the ER was severely understaffed the day before the storm even hit.
Wow.
Or situations where staff ignore untreated frostbite, or they fail to monitor a rapidly worsening infection just because the hospital floor is disorganized.
So the weather is incidental there. The negligence is the actual cause.
Precisely.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Snow does not give clinics a free pass.
It really doesn't.
If a facility operates short-handed due to staffing shortages that existed before the storm, or if they lose test results.
Yeah, losing lab results isn't caused by a drop in barometric pressure.
Right. The weather is merely adding to an already negligent situation. Courts actually separate the administrative failure from the meteorological one.
Because failing to review imaging fast enough to start treatment, that's a human error. The icy roads might exacerbate the stress on logistics, but they didn't create that underlying failure in care.
It's easy for us to sit here and say, blame the facility, not the frost. But proving that distinction seems incredibly difficult for a patient.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it all comes down to how you protect yourself. Documentation is the absolute backbone of a claim.
So you need medical records.
You need your records, yes, showing precise timelines. You also want to keep logs of scheduled or canceled appointments and all communications with the clinic.
And the Cave Law post actually recommends noting the exact weather and travel conditions at the time. Right.
Yes. Highly recommended. You're basically building a contemporaneous record to compare against whatever the providers claim they were dealing with.
That makes total sense.
And you have to keep in mind, states like Colorado have very specific legal timelines.
The statute of limitations.
Right. And strict procedural rules for starting claims and notifying providers. If you delay a claim because you just assume the weather makes it a lost cause, you can disqualify yourself from seeking compensation entirely.
You really have to be your own advocate. So what does this all mean? It means you don't have to accept being harmed just because it snowed.
Not at all.
Medical providers always have a duty to plan and act in a timely way.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to ponder. This raises an important question. If poor planning and pre-existing staff shortages are simply masked by a winter storm, how many medical weather delays are actually preventable human errors hiding behind a layer of ice?